So I'm gonna go ahead and get started.
Today, what?
I love your contract.
Thanks.
Kind of like
It's
that.
off to a I've been in your shop a
meeting,
couple
yeah.
times. So I gave everyone a handout and a short agenda and some flyer examples that I want to talk about. So today's business should be pretty short and sweet, depending on anyone's questions or concerns. We were visited and we coordinated with George Hughes a couple times, and he came in during the last downtown meeting and handed out these flyers. He does a mass mail out flyer, and we met with him last time about the logistics of the flyers. Where do they go to? How do we get involved with this, and the cost. So we had some outstanding items that he finally got back to us on. We were waiting for a deal he was going to give us.
Right.
So we got that. So I want today to discuss a couple things. So we want to have the final list of anyone that wants to be a part of this flyer. And I'll go over what that exactly entails in a little bit. And also we want to discuss, if you do want to be involved, any format or graphics and how you would want it to work for the flyer. And there are different buy-in levels. So businesses will have different levels to buy in at if they wanted to. I've just provided kind of one space level to buy in based on what we can do with the flyer, what I think works out best. And then we have to, if we want to be involved, I have to set deadlines for us to contract with George, and then when we need to get him the information for our businesses. So the flyer needs to have like business name and what you actually want on the advertisement. We would have to coordinate today as
And he
well.
has an artist that helps with
Yes.
your designing.
Yes. So that's what I want to go through. We still have a little bit of time after this meeting to make some decisions, so there's going to be no pressure for like anyone like right now to say yes or no. But I really, the clock is ticking if we want to get it out for the holidays. So a recap. We were contacted with George Hughes, who is basically an advertiser. He kind of works a little solo, and he does these mail out flyers in different locations all around Ohio. He has someone that does the graphics. What's her name? He kept saying Angela, something like that, I feel like.
Veronica.
Veronica.
Yeah, I knew it was a V.
Earl knows he's on the
Veronica.
Yes.
I knew it was a V.
And so he does kind of the business end, and then he has someone else that does the graphics for how the flyers actually turn out. The flyers that he contacted us about are for Alliance East area. He does it by area, and every area has a flyer that goes out every 3 months. So there's an Alliance West, there's a Sebring and Beloit area, there's a Louisville area. I mean, he has a bunch of areas all over Ohio. But the flyer that we're inquiring on right now is just Alliance East, which is all addresses, every address east of Union Avenue in the 44601 area code. So that's 2,995 places that the flyer would go out to. It just shows up in your mail, and that's the way it works. The deal that he gave us is that he is willing to give us the full side of the flyer. So there's a side that has the postage and a side that's the full side. He's willing to give us the full side of the flyer and provide a center portion of the flyer that's completely for free, where we would only pay for spots on the sides.
Oh, nice.
So like the Lions would be in the middle.
So what that means is, essentially we talked last time that if we're going to send out a flyer like this, we want to appear coordinated as kind of downtown businesses. And what can we do? So George's idea, and what I agree with, thinks works well, is that in the center we would have a space for Alliance Main Street or Alliance Downtown, a map of the area, and then all the businesses in the area. And then on the sides would be where I'm inquiring with you all to buy in a spot to have your advertisement larger and maybe provide coupons for people to use at your businesses. So I have handed out an example. It's a smaller scale sheet. I just made it that size so I could print it on 1 8.5 by 11 size. So
Right.
some of the text is a little small to read, but you'll see there, I made fake businesses on the sides. I didn't want to insult anyone's business by doing the wrong thing.
Wow,
So-
hippie's got an awful lot down the middle. Let's get-
I like this advertising.
Someone is very good.
So I don't have my copy, but what you'll see on the flyer is that in the center, it has Alliance Main Street, and then we could have a little description or offerings, something of a little thing about what Main Street or downtown is, and then we have a list of downtown businesses. This is room for 10 businesses, and not all 10 need to buy in to the flyer. We would like to just list businesses to show that there's a lot to offer. And then at the bottom, there's a map with a specific key to each business below that map. That the number is hovered over the business location.
Beautiful.
On the map.
It is.
Now,
I like that.
if- all the businesses will be included on this, but if you buy in on one of the advertisements on the side, there would be a logo placed so it could reference your business.
Okay.
So there would be a logo placed of your business advertising or your symbol or whatever on the map pointing to your building, and a logo next to your business on this list.
Okay.
So Josh was describing to me the rule of threes with marketing. I'm not a marketing person, but I took his lead on that, and so essentially it gets you 3 places on this one sheet that your business would be marketed if you buy in on the sheet.
I like that,
If you
man.
don't buy in, though, your business would still be
Right.
here. It would be put here.
Now, one of the things I had mentioned to Josh on was an idea that McDonald's had done for years, is how to come up with a coupon on here that says shop downtown coupon and make it a monopoly dollar. There'd be 10% or whatever everybody could agree to say, hey, 10%'s good, we can all do, or 20%, 15, whatever the case may be. We can come up with that, and if we put that on here, then it's gonna require that they bring this in to get the percentage off. And by bringing it in, we're able to track this flyer is working for us.
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah.
So they'd actually have to not necessarily give us the flyer, but on your receipt, you can write F and circle it on your end of your receipt, or type it on the computer, whatever you do, and that shows that, hey, flyer was on that sale, and then you can kind of track those sales.
So another thing that I've seen with that might follow along with a little bit of that is that these flyers actually could be used as, like, let's say a punch card.
Right.
And that they would physically bring the flyer, and there might be certain punches for each business, and instead of having a coupon on here, you can coordinate amongst
Right.
yourselves how
Drawing.
you actually want that discount or that hook to get people into work.
Right.
So I mean, I would leave that up to the discussion of businesses, what's best for them,
Right,
what
right,
you would
right.
want to do. So this is just a draft layout on how I think it could work. I was just focusing on the center and
Sure.
how we could have an overall alliance. You know, one of the goals that I have on this, I spelled out at the bottom of the agenda sheet, is that, you know, we should think about this as a way to execute general marketing efforts. So everyone wants to market their business. Get out marketing for the holiday season, because this goes out in mid-November and it lasts for 3 months. It's going to be out for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, and Black Friday's in there as well. So it's a pretty big season, important season to have stuff out. Test out kind of a larger scale marketing effort where we're all coordinated, because this does go out as a mass flyer. It's a kind of a large scale effort. And then to re-identify as kind of a collaborative, collective entity, and do so in things like this moving forward. So that's
One other question is,
Yeah.
if this is focused towards Union and over on the east side, is that a good demographic? You know what I mean?
yeah. So
Household income versus,
and that's another thing, is that the flyers go out by area every 3 months. So Alliance West has already gone out, and so we could continue this after this mail out in mid-November, and then get on something on Alliance West, then get on something for Sebring, Beloit, and then get on something for another area.
Rotate from area to
We could
area.
just continue doing this. It's just that this is the opportunity now for the holiday season,
What's
and it goes
available.
out at the Alliance East. I don't want to speak for George, but it's also easier for us to kind of get out to Alliance East, and a little bit less expensive right now,
Right.
because of maybe like the median household income or something. Well, I know that's it. He told me he was upset
Right.
about that. But so the cost of it for this mailer for the just shy of 3,000 is $240 per spot. So there's 4 spots on the one side with the Main Street Center.
Okay.
So what it would require is that for this to work this way, we need at least 4 business buy-ins to have it on just one side. Now, it doesn't need to stop there. There's also a backside to the flyer, and there could even be like a whole, I mean, you can actually advertise in just one tripart. But because of the layout of this and the deal he was giving, and it would be
Right.
kind of silly to only have 2 businesses with the Main Street
I think,
stuff. It would
I
make
think it would
sense
be
to
good to have
more.
4 on that side if you want a
So-
full to do it on the back.
Yeah.
But as if you got more businesses, you can kind of carry that over the backside,
You
and have one
can.
flyer
You
floating
can.
downtown as it grows.
You can, but the deal is though that he's giving us that space for free, so
Right.
that's what he,
Right.
is going to work out for us. So regardless of what we do on the back, it would still have to be how you pay for the space,
Right.
just like you are.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know what everyone would want to do for like the coupons or how they would want stuff to graphically lay out. I'm certainly happy to help if we want to make things look more consistent on this side, but I mean, I think I was playing around with colors on it. I mean, it doesn't look bad even if someone wants like punchy colors for their business. I mean, I think that would be fine too. It's just, we just need to be able to get that information to Veronica. And that needs to be to her at least 2 weeks, and he said 2 weeks is pushing it, but 3 weeks before the mail out date would be ideal. So if we're mailing out in the middle of November, we would want to get them the information by the end of this month. And even before that, we would want to contract with George and let him know, hey, and pay and all that stuff. So that's the offer.
I know we would be interested for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we always want to talk
I'm
about
doing
that.
it.
You're doing it? My pen is dead at the worst time.
Man, that reminds me of working at DirecTV. I'm in Walmart trying to sign people up for DirecTV, and I can't write because my pen died.
I did the lighter trick, heat it up, lick the end of it, but I sold
Whatever it
cars.
takes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I sold cars I kept.
Rub it on your jeans.
Yeah.
So that means that, I mean, I could say right now that we're able to do this with the one side based on how many people are going to be involved with it.
Right.
So anyone else that also wants to be involved regardless, so it's still worth it to, and I'll offer one more chance to everyone before we complete it. I'll send out another email this week and be like, hey, last chance. It's just overflow on the back.
Right. Same
So
So, I mean, sorry, just to clarify so that when I go tell Aaron, because the 87 kids did not want to make the trek down.
yeah.
So on the back side of it, that would be, I'm assuming not the 240 price, that would be the standard.
You
Price
could.
that he-
So 2 businesses. He just has to be able to fill up a third. So if we had
Okay.
2 additional businesses and they didn't want to buy a whole third, then they could go in, and if they
Okay.
are okay with doing the
240,
one,
240.
Right, okay.
they can
Okay.
do that.
I said that, that's fine, I just
So it'd
wanted
be
to make
1,
sure.
2, 3 blocks, and then
Right.
2 per.
Because I know that we have talked about this, and so that it was likely that we would all want to be a part of that, but we didn't get to talk to you about it at the last meeting, so I don't want you to be like, well, I get to be left out of this one.
No,
So, you know what I mean?
I wasn't able
So
to
I
make the
want,
last meeting.
No.
right, so I just wanted to make sure that we
Yeah.
would all have the same opportunity and not be like, well, you didn't get to be on the front, so now you have to pay twice as much to be on the back.
No, yeah.
That's what I was just trying to
No,
do.
not at all. And I mean, honestly, the way these look and feel, they're very two-sided.
Right.
Right. So like the
No,
deal
yeah.
was like just because he was going to give us the free space, and
Right.
when I say front and back, I don't really mean that because
Right, yeah,
Side
it's
and,
it's just a
You
flyer,
know,
it's not really a front or a back.
yeah.
What we're trying to, like he's saying, we need one side filled to make the deal, and then
Absolutely.
the backside's
Yeah.
available.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
I just was clarifying just
Yeah.
for myself, cause I don't care which side we're on,
Just
but I
lock
also,
me in.
I'm saying I'm not,
Yeah.
like, I'm like, oh, okay, you know.
And I'm sure he would even do something if we did fillable side. It's just that if we want to look like consistent and like have a Main Street thing, we don't want like
Right.
a random Windows person to be like
Right.
on our side of the flyer. So
We want to promote the downtown.
windows are great.
I know that generally she doesn't come into this, but have you talked to Teresa at Checkerboard Cheesecake? Because that might be something that she would be interested in,
No,
like,
but I
knowing.
can't. She's on the list.
Yeah, it's like,
for the
I mean,
nails
because
that you
she
know.
does great business down here. She brings a
Yeah,
lot
we've
of people
offered her
down
to
here.
come to the meetings. She says she's so busy she doesn't have
I
time.
say, I
But
can see
in
where she's
advertising
like-
wise, that might be okay for
Right,
her.
I'd say that might be something that she might be interested in being on there, or at least
Right.
knowing, like, that her business is gonna be listed on it.
Right.
Because we don't wanna step on toes as
No,
well.
no, absolutely
So
not.
it might just be something to talk to
And that's the
them
thing
about.
where I think we felt pretty strongly that regardless of buy-in, everyone's business is still going to be here on the map so that someone can see it.
Right.
So yeah, but I will follow. Did you say her name's Melissa?
Teresa.
Teresa. Okay.
Caputo.
I,
Long
that I
Island.
didn't know. She's super nice. I just,
You can give a
Go
shout
in there,
out. She
put
might
some
get to
mint
watch
underneath
this.
your nose, 'cause
no,
it's not
she's
gonna
great. She's
buy
been
your store.
fantastic
Yeah.
for us.
You live next to someone who makes cheesecake.
Yeah, I mean-
can't imagine it would be too bad.
She's been fantastic for us. I just want to make sure that we're not, 'cause her hours aren't,
Yeah.
you know, conducive to being like, hey, I'm going to be here at 5 o'clock. and,
Yeah.
You know,
She's already in bed. She's
life,
cooking.
life and other
cakes at
things.
2 in the morning.
So
So
I just want to make sure.
the
that
one
we're-
thing, I mean, since that's the case, then I want to actually discuss what I'm going to include on the center part then to continue with that design.
Yeah.
So I had the downtown businesses here with the name of the business and then room for 2 lines of information. So I think I want to hear from everyone. Do we want that line to be a website or an address and then hours of
I
operation?
gotta go to another meeting, sorry.
Oh, no problem, no.
I think if you're gonna put on the flyer.
Later, Gator, you can find the video.
Address and maybe a phone number.
Address.
I like.
And your
Facebook.
email.
Being on the flyer, knowing that it's all going downtown on Main Street,
That email
I
yet?
wouldn't think the address is terribly important at that point. I would say if you have a website, to do the website or Facebook.
Well, yeah, if you're doing
and
the
a phone
ad,
number.
yeah, if you're doing the ad.
Well, and it's addresses will be easier on this because all we need is just the digit of the building and Main
Right.
Street, and everyone's gonna already know Alliance.
Right.
So, I mean, in theory, on one line, you could fit the address, just the number in Main Street, and then do a phone number, and then below that do hours of operation, or however we want to do it.
Yeah, so I would-
It's just
But on your ad, you can have your website, your Facebook, your
Yeah.
hours of
Yeah.
operation, those type of things.
I wanted to make sure that whatever we put here was consistent.
Right.
And that, you know, it was most helpful to have in this area. And I mean, because some businesses might just want to have like a bunch of coupons on their thing or
Here's the other
something.
thing.
And
Here's the other thing. Let's say that one of the businesses don't pay for the advertisement. What are they gonna want? Here?
Right.
They want their address and phone number.
Right.
Right.
That way they know where to be contacted at.
yeah, yeah.
Or
And
know
I
where it's
think
located.
phone number is huge. I
Yeah.
think that definitely
Yeah,
needs to be on
phone
there.
number's huge.
But, and then on your advertisement, you put your website, Facebook, all those other things on there, which create the path of that.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
What about including space for like our Facebook as a group?
Beautiful historic downtown Alliance.
Yeah, I think that should be on there too somewhere.
We could
Could
put
we
a
just,
QR
I'd
code
say,
on
could we
there.
just do like a
Yeah,
QR
yeah,
code
yeah.
level?
That would be great. I mean, we could probably do QR codes for our own
Yes,
too.
absolutely. That's
Right?
100% what I would
Yeah,
do.
QR codes are a little trickier for Facebook links, but for like regular website links,
Yeah.
it's easy.
Okay. I've never used Facebook for it, but yeah.
Yeah, so
Thanks for
I-
coming.
I'm sorry, no, I'll definitely be at the next one. She's calling
Okay.
me like crazy.
Yeah.
Take care, buddy.
So
Thank
I-
you. Yep.
Facebook, they do get wonky if they're too small. They're hard to scan. But overall, I think that would be. I mean, if you've got a side space, I would definitely put a QR code on it.
It's not that game. Sorry. You ever see how you hold the phone up? You gotta try to.
Oh, yeah.
He was holding up for his forehead.
I needed to scoot back, but we'll just go for a 2-shot.
Hey, why don't next time we bring the gimbal and I'll just
Definitely should.
set it right up on the
I
camera.
say I have stand.
Hey, one of those
Let's
gimbals,
don't
as
think
you're
about it
talking,
until I-
as you're talking,
Yeah.
it'll move to whoever.
That I don't have.
It'll rotate it.
It'll
I
be
just
like.
have a stand.
Josh speaks right here, right in your face.
Yeah, because I mean, it is very hard to drink my coffee as I do that. Just playing.
There are some other things that I have to work out with, like graphics on what the map's gonna look like. All the fonts that I put on here for the actual flyer size, because I had to measure the actual flyer, it's all gonna be 8-point or larger, so it should be legible. It's just I scaled it down for this. So
Now,
yeah, I mean,
do you guys
besides-
want to do any kind of a coupon effect?
What do you mean?
Like,
For like I was saying, like Monopoly money, or some way that you can create a small punch card on the bottom or something to where people could come in and actually get a discount.
So what I was thinking was, what if we?
Because you want to find out the flyer's coming. You want to see, that's how you're going to be able to track the flyer
Like what I
coming
Yeah.
When
back.
you say that, what I think is, what if we like have a Monopoly board around this, and then our coupons in each spot on the Monopoly board.
next to the
Yeah, and it's just the theme of the flyer.
Right,
Would that work?
right. And in that way, when they come in, they have to show you the coupon that says, hey, I get 10% off.
Sure.
If you want to do 20% off and I want to do 10, you could do that. You know what I mean? But if like you're
Yeah.
saying, if you put it around the board,
it's like,
I would make it so it doesn't take up too much space. You know, if this is doable,
Yeah.
this might
You
not
can
be
even-
doable.
No, I mean, you tell me. I'll
you
make
can
it.
even put it right here next to their names.
well, I think that pulls away from what he was gonna like highlight your business
Right,
again.
right,
that
right.
using
Yeah, I'm
that.
thinking like if we want to do the punch card, it's gonna have to be on the side. So like, you know, does the center graphic for Alliance, like, does it move to the side, and then do we have punch cards off to the side on just the Alliance one, and then it's
So-
2 rows of businesses, or
I like where your head was at on that, like a Monopoly board you would have it, because we had talked about that, like either the tear off or whatever, so that we weren't getting into each other's coupon space.
Right.
So, well, I say when you get onto the back, that makes it hard, except for that if everybody's coupons are on one side.
Well, they can design the back so it's not.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
over those areas.
like even the people that
would
advertise
be-
on the backside, if their coupon discount code could be on there, then maybe we could make it as
I'm
a
not even thinking about the back.
border
Well, you can
around.
just put it in your own ad. But the Monopoly board was going to make it kind of fun, like a check off. you know?
well, and the Monopoly board would still like potentially apply to. I mean, that would take like businesses that want to honor that, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
like that would take me like writing the description like punch game applicable for a list of these
Right.
businesses. So even if you're on the back, like you still know that it's applicable. It's just the punch button is on the front.
Right. I think that might not necessarily be doable for this one, but we could
Yeah.
contact
If you-
everybody and see if that's something we're willing to do
Right,
going
but for
forward.
now, if you did the ad, you could put your coupon there that says this coupon's only good if you bring it in.
So if you're gonna do a monopoly board idea, why don't you look at it like, okay, if that's gonna be your focus, you figure out what businesses are actually paying. They get all their coupons around it. Then the back of the card is literally just logos of maybe the businesses paid as well for some more brand monotony. And then in the middle of the front of the card around it will be your historic logo, the names of all the businesses, and then the people that are paying, it says Power 3. They're featured in the middle, they're featured on the sides of their coupons, and they're featured on the back with their logos of whoever actually pays, you know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
they get their coupon amounts, you get your Monopoly board, you know what I'm saying? And front and back don't make it
The
a
issue
conflict of interest.
is we're trying to accommodate if it can just be one-sided though. So
Because
not
we haven't
both
got
are-
enough to fill two sides
Yeah,
yet.
because we can't fill up the whole back, I don't believe,
Well, unless
until we get
unless
commitment from everyone.
all the businesses that want to
But
do
you
just
had
this
a
part
friend
want to
that
pay
was
more.
interested, right?
Which
Yeah, I'll reach out to them. Like I don't know. Like I said, with all, I mean, and honestly, I might have to talk to George and figure out because like I'm not gonna keep dumping money into the same like concept because you'll get, you know, both of these flyers with my
Right,
name.
right,
Like,
right.
it's so you know what I'm saying.
I think there should be a buy-in. If every business could just do it once or twice a year, right? You don't got to do it all 3 times.
Yeah.
But if you could do it once or twice, so we can keep this flyer going for brand recognition for the street, not just the business. I think that's kind of the overhead view of what I really thought of when I thought of doing this. You know, like I mean, I still get people that
I
are
get
like,
where
there's
you're like
no businesses downtown.
consistently, yeah.
I'm like trying to make that the myth.
Yeah.
Not the truth.
I was kind of, I'd say when you first were like, hey, I want to, and I know that you were working on getting the speakers and to get that feel. What I have noticed just in our business, and I'm sure you guys have too, is that what I get 95% of the time is people, one, didn't know we were there, which is fine because we just opened.
Yeah.
So of course they don't know I'm there. But two, they walk in and they go, man, I remember coming here when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like I remember it looked like this, and I remember it looked like that. So I really think that it would do us well to tap into that, like
Historic
the
of
like
what.
return to downtown shopping.
No, I mean, nostalgia's a huge.
Like I think that'll be
It's an
huge
important,
for this street.
maybe a word that we should brand a lot is, what was it?
Like the returning to
Return.
downtown.
Like maybe there's certain
Because-
words that we need to put in our lingo.
Like
Because
revitalize is one word, but
I like return. It's
I
like
mean,
it's
it
like it's
brings you
associated with
back
like
to
the
it.
underdog kind
Return
of
of Batman.
It's coming back, yeah.
When I was a kid, you did not come to Downtown Alliance.
Yeah.
Like you didn't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
My parents shopped down here when they were
know, I
kids.
just bought
They
this.
grew up in Beloit. They
Yeah.
came here to shop.
I just bought the window.
They didn't
of
let us
Reliance
come down
Hardware.
here.
It says
You
Reliance
did?
Hardware.
Wait, the one that the grooms that building.
Yeah.
Really?
It says Alliance Hardware on it. It's got a little chainsaw sticker decal. I just picked
I
that
mean,
up.
there's a lot
You'll have
of
to show
history
me.
here,
I'll have
and
to
there's
show
a
you.
lot of people
It
that are
was
gonna
killer.
feel nostalgia to come
Gold
down,
leaf.
especially with getting a First Friday started, with knowing that we have businesses here that they can shop and do things in.
It would be really cool.
You know,
to
I
go to, like,
really think we need to focus
we go
there,
to
is
Lions
returning
Memories.
downtown.
Sure,
If we go to
absolutely.
Alliance Memories, we can find photos of your store in operation,
Yeah.
my store in
Yes.
operation,
And that could,
asking them people to help us.
I mean,
with
that could be on
An event.
well, and it could even be on your business,
Yeah.
on the portion of the ad
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the business
Yeah.
side.
The return,
I wouldn't have room to
old
fit it
to
on the
new.
center, but you could certainly have a picture
Yeah.
of it there. I know I
But
got Josh
I-
a picture of his building.
Yeah,
so-
I just think that that's something that would really, especially these first couple that we're putting out there, I think that would be huge to draw on that nostalgia,
And
especially
coming
for people that are like my parents' age that did shop there when they were kids, and when Alliance shifted a little bit, they were like, "Ooh, we don't go downtown anymore." They
Right.
haven't returned to shopping downtown.
Right.
So I don't think we should make that jump until we do First Fridays. Once we hit that First Friday where we have that month-to-month organization that hopefully will like semi sort of look like the Jeep
Well, you can
event,
slowly
you know?
do it because here's the thing.
I'd say,
Right now, there's
but do we have that hoping in that 3 months? Are we hoping to have that started by then?
Yeah.
We're waiting on our phone call.
I understand how that. I mean, how that works. But I mean, would we hope to have it start?
So
Because
we're
if we're planning to want to start it, possibly in December, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that
Then
goal
that
is.
would tie into it and be like, hey, we're returning downtown, and we have these events going on.
Well, and we got the Christmas trees, line the barrels. That
Yeah.
was one of the things, trying to work with the schools down the
Yeah,
road,
that's it.
getting the Christmas Carol thing going. And the other thing we could be working off right now, there is a huge buzz from the Jeep event. Okay, it was
a huge
success, yes, for them.
Huge day.
So-
did you do good that day?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
That's
So,
incredible. I
here's
love
the
hearing
thing:
that.
is that was
amazing.
a huge day for us. Number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, we could right off the curtails of that, where the buzz is starting to run around right now. So
Yeah.
when's the best time to keep the buzz going? While that motion's going. To just let it
So
die and go dead real quick.
Sorry, those were just
You know what I
ideas
mean?
that I had that we,
So-
you know.
So that's where Return to Downtown might be
Listen.
an easy, soft introduction.
Right.
And then do like a grand opening of Return to Downtown on First Friday.
Right. I mean, I think that's kind of where I was going. Is that we're trying to pull people in
Softly
here. and
hitting it.
If we're saying return,
Right.
that tells them that like, oh, people used to do this down here,
Right.
and then they stop. So we're coming back to it.
All right, so to fill you in, we're waiting for our next meeting so he can get introduced
Yes.
to Joanne. From
Okay.
there, she's gonna help us get the CO3 CPO.
501
Yes.
I know I'm bad with numbers, and you got it on video now too. And then we really can start that. That's how I see it.
Yeah, the goal is funding. So I know that the First Fridays events are meant to you don't need a bunch of funding, but I think that
You have to have some sort of marketing budget for it.
and I think for us to actually get started and get sponsors around the community, having a 501(c) will help us.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of just going and being like from one business to another, from a business to a 501(c) is a lot different of a dynamic that,
Yes.
that I can go out and get it from people that aren't on Main Street.
Yeah.
And
Just like when for the Jeep event, we got Wally's to do a small sponsorship
Yeah.
towards the event. And he told me, he says, whenever you have events downtown, let me know. I mean, they brought that
Yeah,
old
that was
Belvedere
huge.
down there, that big car. They
Yep.
set it up. I was like, well, for them to do that, he's got a building full of
Right.
classic cars.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime he can do the event, put a sticker on the side of the car, bring it down here, pay a little bit of money for the advertisement, send one of the salesmen down, involve him into the event.
Yeah.
They will do that. As it gets bigger, I think you'll get more and more of that. You know what I mean?
so it's partially about the money, and it's
Yeah.
partially just about finding a way to get other people in the community
Yes,
involved,
yeah,
right?
right.
So,
Sure.
I mean, I have a list of things of funding sources we can already go to as soon as the 501(c) is
Right.
established, but one step at a
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Yes, I just,
Yeah.
Trying to
I
keep
don't
that cart
wanna,
behind the horse.
I know.
I don't wanna start, like, we're starting this marketing thing and it's a 3-month market.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And I don't wanna be behind.
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So if,
certainly.
if we're marketing and we think in this time frame that's gonna start, I really want to capitalize on that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think word choices for everything are so important, and I really think that urging people to return
Yeah.
is gonna be huge.
No, I think that's a good way of putting it.
It's gonna click for people like,
Yeah.
oh, there's something going on down there, we have to go back and see what it is.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. So that's just how,
I wanna loop around back though
Yeah.
to the coupons.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering if maybe for this first one, if the coordination of doing the punch card might come for a next flyer.
Yeah, because I don't even know I've never seen a punch card on a flyer, but we could definitely.
I've seen like markings, like I know someone mentioned it last time, but I've seen like markings on the flyer instead of people cutting out coupons, you might
Yeah.
mark or stamp it.
Oh, okay.
But that was just one thing that I thought of. We don't have to
Yeah.
do it, but so that just means that everyone needs to decide like beyond like what logo they want, and it sounds like
You got mine.
I
shoot.
might-
But I'm not sure what the punch would need to happen other than, what's the reward for the punch? That's my only concern.
like
Is
a
if you-
culmination of all businesses, and then
so
you
like,
get something.
if we're doing a percentage off,
Right,
I don't necessarily think that you would need to punch, but rather record that possibly, like in your, hey, we got a flyer.
right.
you know,
All I'm
thing.
saying is it says flyer is only good if
Right.
it's presented at the time of purchase. You
Yeah.
can't come and say, hey, I got a flyer in today, do I get the 10% off?
Yeah.
You gotta bring the flyer, you know what I
I
mean?
understand that. As a mom who always forgets it, I'm 100% like, if you got my flyer and knew my business was on there, I'm not going to give you the discount.
Right, I get it.
Just
No,
because, I mean, I don't ever remember the coupons. So.
I mean, I guess I do understand, but how do we keep them from from hole punching it themselves for the? Because like you said,
But
in
what would be
Monopoly,
the benefit of the whole punch? I mean, I have a punch card system myself
Like it would almost
now.
be like it would have to be an increased value than the coupon. I don't think you could get away with doing the punch system and not do coupons. I think you would still have to do coupons
Right.
for people that didn't. So it would almost have to be an increased value. for
Could
the
there be
whole
like
punch.
maybe the punch cards get you so many entries and to a monthly drawing per se for the downtown?
Oh, so we
group?
could have like okay, we're raffling this off. And
Well,
if you
that's
have-
what it should be.
If you have 6.
So it's like,
Yes,
yes, absolutely.
Friday, we have this raffle basket.
Right,
Yeah.
and
You know,
yeah,
that every business has given a $5 gift card to or whatever.
Yeah.
right,
And if you have 10 entries, then you can.
right.
Yes,
Then it would need to
absolutely.
be.
I'd follow.
Then it would be
I need a
your-
little
People
more on
love
that, but I
people
dig it.
love to gamble. Look,
Yeah,
come
I
gamble
do.
with us.
Right.
I love a
so
raffle
many
basket.
entries, and you bring that down.
Hey, you want to win a PS5?
I love a raffle basket.
Come,
Yeah.
come buy something at all our
I won
stores.
one at
Get
the
the
Jeep event,
punch.
by the way.
Further coordinated
What?
into-
I won one of the raffles.
I would.
Oh,
I would
did
just look
you?
For, like,
Cool.
something to happen
What'd you
for
win?
First Fridays, or where we don't have an event
Clean
to
up
get
like a
someone
polish kit
something.
for the car.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'd say I can see where that would be like maybe on the next card we
Yeah.
hammer into that, so it gives us a few months to
Yeah.
all talk.
Lock it
and
all
get
in,
that,
get it all
yeah.
figured out, yeah.
Alliance-opoly.
But if you do that, then what'll happen is down the road, we'll have a gift to give away. Maybe 2 or 3 first, second,
Well, yeah,
third
because
place.
it
or
doesn't have to be a
something,
gift card. It could just be like a hey, we gave this item and it goes into this, and that's
Yeah.
what you guys get.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's holiday related or
Let's get him a
whatever.
Furby. Don't the kids still like
You're
it?
gonna hand out Furby and the troll
That
downtown.
is terrifying.
I'm just kidding.
Terrifying.
Both of them are
Tickle me
terrifying.
Elmo. Let's get him a tickle. What's the new toy this year? You know? That's what we should do. Is have whatever the new toy is, the parents can get it for free. You know, one lucky winner of Downtown Alliance gets this Tiberzorg or whatever. I don't know what the new toy
I don't
is.
even know.
The parent one will be the half an hour drinking at the Crystal on
I'm gonna drink for half an hour.
It is unfortunately very illegal. It's 100% illegal to give away alcohol.
Oh, we're not giving it away.
You have to spend money.
No,
on
we
my
bought
business.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It probably is giving away in some.
Well, you know what? Up in Newton Falls, they give away. They do a wine walk up. You know, that's what they do down there downtown. They do a wine walk, and so every store you go into has a bottle of wine, and the wineries give them the wines.
But you probably have to buy a ticket.
Nope. Nope. They give them a sample,
does that-
not a whole glass.
How
It's a
does that
sample.
work?
I'll ask him. He's a good friend of
I say
mine.
that because that is 100%
you
like
don't-
everything that I know about Ohio liquor laws.
You
is that
don't need
have
a
to
liquor
purchase
license
ticket.
if you're not selling it. So if it, so
It's donated by the winery. You're giving away a little taste test of the alcohol, of the wine, and then people will go from one to the next for a different taste of each wine all the way around the horseshoe.
Oh no, I'd be 100% in for
And you know what
free
else it does?
winery.
And you know what else it does? It opens up the coffers a little bit because the more they.
Well, correct, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's interesting. I wonder how that.
They do it up there. A
works.
buddy of mine owns mercantile
I wonder if
store.
because it's wine, they can keep it under like you have to have like
Limit.
under an 8% wine can be, or something like I don't know.
my ex-boss, they own the second import business from Italy for wine. It's
Yeah.
bottled glass. They're based out of Akron, and you can do wine tastings anywhere in the city. Like it doesn't matter where you're at, like any building, regardless of.
Well,
license
no, yeah,
or-
I know you don't have to have a license, but
Yeah.
normally you have to charge a price
Nope.
because that's interesting.
No, in fact, there's some bars that
I mean,
are
you
not allowed
get
to serve
into
alcohol.
age issue.
You bring it in and give it to them.
Oh yeah,
And then they can give it back to you.
yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you are responsible if you give it to a minor.
Right. Yes.
Huh?
I was just clearing my throat. I wasn't trying to get nobody's attention.
He wants a beer. Someone go get him a
Someone give him a
beer.
glass.
I want a
wine.
beer. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna have to run here pretty quick too because we've got.
Yeah, I got a
So-
cheerleading
More
to
kid
get
running
to right
too.
now.
The next thing that's going to happen with this then
Yes.
is I'm going to send out an email early next week
Okay.
confirming everyone who's going to be involved, and then from there it's going to be getting information from everyone for what they're going to have on their ads. I think depending on if everyone has their own like marketing and logo and coupons thought out on what they want to do individually, I'm probably wouldn't need to be as involved, and we could just send what we want the center to look like to Veronica, and then she could plug in what you guys want. But if we want to coordinate more and do it all together and then just send the whole complete product to Veronica, I would just need to know after we decide who's actually gonna be on it. So
I think the coupons we'll do on our own personal ads at first.
yeah.
And then we can kind of figure out how to create this other effect.
Yeah,
To
it's,
add to it.
it's just because like the logos for the businesses that are
Right.
on here would also go here.
Right.
So, I would,
Yeah.
You're limited to how much
Yeah.
space you got.
like Fandamonia, like I'd only be able to fit like an F maybe on that
Right.
circle or something.
Right.
So,
Right.
Cool.
Okay.
all right, adjourned.